Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mike back here with another episode of the Truth to Power Show. Today is January 26, 2019. Today is a beautiful day in the valley. I'm feeling nice. Actually, I'm not feeling nice at all. I actually had to leave work early because my back is killing me. 30 is hitting me for real. But anyways, I kind of want to touch on this topic, this whole Eve Chris Brown issue. And the reason why I wanted to touch on this specific topic is because I also wanted to then expand it, bring it out further, and, you know, touch on a bigger topic that has something to do with this. And I was really troubled by this whole Eve Chris Brown situation. And I'm very sensitive right now to the whole, how just like she says, the whole environment. I'm sensitive to the environment. And it seems like the environment is a witch hunt on the black man. That's the environment we're in right now. I was so offended. Like, Eve really went on The View. Yeah, I'm gonna pause. We're gonna pause. I'm gonna put this video, or put the video that she said. It's only 1 minute. I'm gonna put it in between this clip, and just so you guys have better understanding of what I'm actually talking about, the interview. I'm gonna put it in the clip, and we'll come back and I'm gonna talk on it. And I'm putting the other clip of the apology, or the so-called apology. Come back, talk on it, and then the final so-called apology on Twitter. So here's the first clip.
This is such a shame. It's really a shame. I mean, obviously, you know, we know he's had troubles in the past. And it's like, when are you going to stop and grow up and allow the talent to shine through and fix your brain? Like, this is ridiculous. And it's, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hope that these allegations aren't true. Obviously, we don't know. But at the end of the day, times have changed. If you guys don't know that yet, whether in America or overseas, get your act together. Like, you can't be treating women how you want to treat them in any kind of way just because you think you're a superstar. It's just not the way to be. And I feel sad because Chris Brown is actually a really talented person. He's actually really talented, and it's just sad, man. I just really hope he gets some help, and I don't know. It's horrible. It's hard. This is a hard thing.
So that's Eve going in on Chris Brown. I mean, that's her going lightweight in on Chris Brown based on these allegations and the arrest that happened overseas. And I just think, like, damn, sister. That's in my damn Daniel. Like, damn, sister. Like, why are you the one on the? Do you actually the one sister on there going the hardest? I mean, I said one sister, but you the hard going. It's other women on there. I would expect that from them. Eve is the one out there going the hardest at this young brother. Eve. Now, Eve. Extra with Stevie J with the sex tape. Eve, I get it. Look, hey, she's a better person now. She's moved on. She's found her husband, her billionaire dude. Shout out to him and her and their relationship. Shout out to that. Black power, right? Anyways, yeah, Eve jumped out the window and went ham on my boy Chris Breezy with no real information, no facts, didn't wait out for nothing to come in, just hopped out the window and went in. And it's like, that's like a real life culture right now, is to go out, cause whatever allegations. And the problem with it is that there are disgusting, terrible black men out there. But what's happening is that when these few men are doing things and you're mixing it with the few men who are doing terrible things, and then also throwing in allegations now of men who are not doing things. I mean, like I said, we had the Reuben Foster thing recently. That man's career was threatened. I mean, we had Gary on Conley. Like, there's so many situations recently where people are losing millions of dollars. And to be honest with you, if you bring up a conversation of saying, hey, like, we need to really take a look at, we got to take a look at what's going on with how men are being able to just have to deal with these false allegations, and then, it just goes away. Hey, you caught me lying? Okay, goodbye. And that's it. No, like, that has to be, whatever was going to happen to that person should be happening, at least in some degree, to the person throwing those allegations. These people are ready to ruin these people's lives, and there's nothing that happens about it. No one feels sensitive. No one cares. It is what it is. And because, I get it, Chris Brown had the past, and he had the thing with Rihanna, that means that, look, his credibility, his reputation is going to be questioned. But, like, Chris Brown Brown today. I mean, God bless that man, to be honest. I'm very happy for him. I think he really is obvious. It's evident that he's in a better place. The man has a daughter. The man's living a better life. He seems happier. He moved on. Hey, shout out to that man. I'm just saying, regardless of who it is, why don't we just wait for like the evidence to come out? Let's stop hopping out the window and getting emotional, especially when the brothers seems to be the number one, because you can't be out here throwing out allegations like that. Like this is terrible. And I mean, not to say that she was the one throwing out the allegations, but she's talking about he needs to fix his brain and what's wrong with him. And I'm just like, man, like, this is embarrassing. And then this is the thing that really got me mad. Okay, I get it. You know, a lot of people get triggered. I'm not a robot. Sometimes I could be triggered. Any person could be triggered, but it's also how you handle it in the end. Like, she went on The View and was talking bad on this man, talking shit, whatever, had a little 1 minute rant. And then when she finds out that all this stuff is false, Chris Brown suing the accusers and all this other stuff, then she goes on Instagram, and I want y'all to listen to this, by the way. If you pay close attention, you could even hear the Caucasian man tell her go. Don't ask me how I know it's a Caucasian man, but I know that go. I know what that was. Anyway.
What's up, y'all? So I wanted to address what I said on the talk the other day about Chris Brown. At first I didn't think what I said was harsh, but then I looked back at it and it was kind of harsh, but it was only harsh because I'm passionate about the state of the climate that we're in right now with women and all these allegations that are coming out. My passion wasn't geared towards Chris Brown and these specific allegations. It's just that we were talking about him, and I think I got upset about all the other feelings that I've been feeling about this whole climate. And like I said before, I didn't know if those allegations were true or false, and they are not true, and he has been released. And in that way, I just want everybody to know, obviously I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping that none of these things are true, but we have to talk about this kind of stuff, right? I have to have an opinion. I'm a woman. I've been through a lot of things, and yeah, I just want to keep the conversation going. So whoever was offended, I apologize.
Well, shit. If that was an apology, I don't know what to tell you. What was that? Like, she said, whoever was offended, I apologize for that. I apologize. Like, come on. First of all, let's break this apology down. She made it all about her and explained her emotions and why she jumped out the window and made this and all this other stuff about her being a woman and blah 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 blah. Just towards the end to say whoever was offended, I apologize. No, Eve, it's not whoever was offended. You got at Chris Brown. Don't say whoever was offended. You should have said Chris Brown, I apologize. Don't say whoever was offended. That's that weak ass apology. That's that non-apology apology. And that's how you know it was insincere. Like, come on, bro. That shit. Somebody told her, like, hey, you're getting a lot of bad press right now from the black community. I know you don't really mess with people like that anymore since you've been up here in the. But anyways, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the camera. We're gonna right here in front of this Salada. We're just gonna do it real quick. Come on, a minute video. I just need you to apologize. Just actually don't apologize because we need to keep the agenda going. Don't apologize to Chris Brown. Just keep it a vague. You just essentially want to say you're aware of the situation. Essentially, go. And that's essentially what I feel like that apology was. So after getting destroyed she got destroyed on social media for that, because then people started calling out that apology and was like, bro, that's not an apology. Even then, like, that's not an apology. So then she takes to Twitter and says this: hey guys, I'm hearing the comments about what I said the other day, and while I stick by my passion, capital letters, passion, about what I feel about the climate we are in as women, I completely understand how it looks as though I was quick to accuse it for that. I am truly sorry, at Chris Brown. Like, come on. Let's break this down. Alright, so she's still being prideful. Still won't let down the pride and just say, I'm sorry, Chris Brown. There were some serious allegations against you, and I had no regardless of the reason, I don't have no reason to justify even just bringing life to these terrible allegations. You know, you got your daughter, that's it. Just, hey, your family, you got mom. Let's just keep, come on, you've been trying to live your life good. I shouldn't even try to be justifying what got me to that point, but moving on. Then she tries to say, as a woman, I completely understand how it looks as though I was quick to accuse. What does that mean? Are you apologizing or not? Were you quick to accuse without the information being out there or not? I just need to know. What is this shit? And then she puts capital letters, quick to accuse. And for that, I am truly sorry. So essentially, she's saying, I am sorry that it looked like I was quick to accuse you, Chris Brown. Do you accept my apology? Man, I hope Chris Brown didn't even respond to this bullshit. I hope he didn't even, like, get the hell out of here. I'm so embarrassed. Remember what happened? What happened with Eve from the block? What happened from Eve from the block? Eve was saying some wild. Let me hold on, fam. This is what happened. Eve. Did Eve say something about her man taming her? He tamed me. Eve on the Married Life with Maximilian Cooper. This woman said he tamed me? Could a black man have tamed her? Or would that have been oppression? Oh, we don't want to talk about that. That's offensive. That's offensive. I bet you no black man would have been able to tame her. She'd have been too strong, too black, too all this kind of shit to be able to be tamed by the black man. But the white man come in, shit, he has, 500 years of taming. He's a colonizer. He said, shit, come through. I'll tame the shit out you. I'll tame you, your family, everybody. I'll take over this whole shit real quick, show you how to do it. And that's where we at right now, man. Eve, I'm so disappointed. Eve, when she was on the Rough Riders, I used to think like, man, I remember, honestly, people bought Eve's album and not even on some like, oh, let me buy it because they're trying to be, it wasn't on that shit. This is the 90s. This is when the best rapper albums were selling, or late 2000 or early 2000s. The best artist was getting the record sold. Now, I'm not just gonna buy an album because of affirmative action or no other shit like that. If you was whack, you're not getting played. Eve album, her first album, flames, spitting fire. Now I know she was living that rough ex-stripper life. She had the Stevie J tape and all that other stuff, but hey, come on, man. Has the black man done you this wrong, Eve? It's that hard to just say, look, this is what I would have appreciated. This is all I would have wanted. And I would have honestly had so much respect, because I don't feel like, I mean, that's not too much things that cannot really be made up for. And like, if she would have honestly just, in that same video, I would have preferred to have been on The View. But in that same video, because I would have understood if the folks on The View would have been like, you're not going to do that on my show. Like, you're only able to tear down black people on the show. Black men specifically. Anyways, but if she would have took her camera phone and just said like, Chris, you know what, my bad. I had hopped out and, you know, I was a little bit too emotional about it. And I didn't wait for the facts to come out, and I was completely wrong. I'm sorry for that. And I'm really rooting for you, and I hope everything but the best for you. Everything and the best for you. Oh. I would have loved that, man. It would have been handshakes, high fives, hugs, tears, all kinds of stuff. But instead, it's just still prideful bullshit apology. This, I'm not trying to apologize, but the people on my mentions is making me apologize bullshit. And I hate that, man. Like, why can't we have that love and respect? I just wish that we had that community sense. We just are so quick to attack each other. I don't know what that is about. And it's like, people try to make it seem like it's like out of a place of righteousness. Like, well, we need to clean up our own community, and first that's what we got. Like, let's be honest. Why are black people, I just want to say this. Can I say this? Why are black people always the only ones playing fair? Why are we always the only ones that want to play fair and then expect to have any results? Like, yeah, let's clean up our community, but when we look at the numbers and rape and all these kind of things like that, as far as the amount of men who are committing these crimes, these men are a small amount of the community. Let's address it. Let's handle that. But when we turn the narrative of, sexual abuse is running rampant everywhere within the black community, and if you're a black girl, 3 out of 5 chance you are being sexually assaulted, like, damn. Like, hold on. Hold up. Now, again, are there black girls being sexually assaulted? Yes. Are there black boys being sexually assaulted? Yes. Are there black children being sexually assaulted? Of course. But when we make it seem like it's a problem when you say, you gotta think of it this way. If you say this thing is inherent to your group, whether that's sexual deviancy, whether that's aggression, whether that's anything that could be looked at as negative, ratchetness, all that. When you say that's something inherent to your group, you are going to automatically be looked at as less than the person. So I don't understand. It's funny too that a lot of these people that have that mindset are real like integrationalists. I need to be around a white person somewhere, or else whatever I'm doing is not really worth it type people. So I'm like, look, these people look at you lower than a human being when you have that mindset. Like when they see you in that mindset, when you push that narrative, you're like, oh, Tyrone is that way. Like, imagine your only white friend at work sees you posting all negative things about your community. So not only is he getting it on the news, but one of the only black people he knows are constantly showing negative things about the black men specifically. Does not really make any real effort to highlight the black men in their community. So what does that other group think of their black men? Oh shit, that man must be a monster. So what do we do to monsters when we see them? I know what I would do if I saw a monster in real life. I would protect myself by any means necessary. So that's just something that we have to think about. Like everything that we do, everything has a bigger consequence. A lot of times people think that I'm speaking of things just on some emotional level just because that's how they're thinking of it. No, I'm trying to bring bigger context into what comes from these things. If you allow the narrative to be seen even as a black woman, and we see it right now, that the narrative that's being shown of black women are that they're ratchet, they're overly sexualized, that they're just fast, they're shaking their ass, they're ready to twerk at any time, just play some Lil Jon and that ass is twerking. Like that's, when you have that narrative, then what happens when a black girl is at a club? And we've seen this case recently. What happens when she's at a club and she's, doing her thing and she's dancing around? A man's gonna have way less inhibitions of like, oh, like if it's a white girl, if it's a Hispanic girl, an Asian girl, and it's a black girl, and he sees that black girl as like, oh, I already know she's, and that's gonna be the easier target. That's a problem. And that's a problem that comes with people gonna say like, oh, it's the rap videos and da 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 da. Come on, ladies, we gotta take some kind of responsibility too. We can't just say, like, Tupac didn't have women in handcuffs in the I Get Around video. I didn't see not one handcuff. If anything, it might have been on him. But I don't think I seen a handcuff in the I Get Around video. I don't think Tip Drill had any, I just know ankle bracelets. Like none of those women were, that's your decision. So it is what, come on, we have to fight. Yeah, we gotta get a fight against that. Even the videos from the early 90s, we look at how overly sexualized it is now. I think about that video of Cardi B the other day. She got a tiger print suit, perkins, she a mama ass everywhere. I'm like, this would have been a porno when I was, growing up back in the early 90s. Shit, this would have had to be blurred out. And I'm like, this is where we at right now. And people don't see the link between a whole bunch of black women and girls being unprotected, sexually assaulted, sexually molested, and being seen also as overly sexualized beings, as these twerk goddesses and these sexually liberal. Like, you have to understand that these two things correlate. And the idea in 2019 that we need to police behavior, that's another thing that I just do not understand. Another concept that makes no sense. I'm not gonna say it makes no sense. I get what you're trying to say, but as far as strategy, it's impossible. Like, I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but the chances are, this is how I think. I'm not the person would I want to risk saying, oh, my son had to go out there and be the martyr for some movement to say that his death spurned. No, that's how a lot of y'all black folks think. Y'all have that martyr mindset of, I'm trying to be the next Trayvon Martin, I'm trying to be the next Eric Garner. A lot of y'all have that mindset, and that's cool for y'all. Congratulations, y'all want to go out there and get your head blown off to try to prove that that's the way to do it. Then, hey, all the power be with you, sir. But I'm not willing to risk my family. I'm not willing to risk not much for not just in the sake of proving something, just to say like, oh, my son should be able to walk down Crenshaw and wear whatever color he wants. He shouldn't have to get blasted. No. Before I even get to trying to get to gang intervention and speaking and sending out commercials about gang violence and all that kind of stuff to try to protect my son, I'm gonna protect my son by first telling him, hey, when you're on Crenshaw, this is how you need to certain places on Crenshaw, or even anywhere, certain places you need to conduct yourself this way. You need to take care of this. You need to control the controllables, as we say in my business. So look, you got to control the controllables, or you can say, hey, I'm gonna leave it up to the world and hope that the next man is merciful on my child, and I hope that I'm not. That's not my mindset at all. I can't even imagine that mindset. I'm gonna first police my son. I'm gonna teach my son, hey, this is how you go out in the world. This is how you take care of yourself. This is what to look out for. This is what you do first. Same thing I'm gonna do with my daughter. Hey, God bless if I have a daughter. Same thing. Hey, this is what you look out for. These are how men are. This is this. Don't take no drinks. Don't do that. I'm not gonna set her up and say like, oh, live in an ideal world to say what men should not do or what women should do. And it's not the should world. Like, if I walk down the street and $50 falls out of my pocket, should the person behind me give it to me? They should. Will they? Probably not. So that's the world we live in. We gotta deal with it. We can't just live in the ideologies or the ideal world and just say, oh, we should and this could happen. And no, we have to live in the world as best that we have, the world that is here now, as best as we could. We can't create a fantasy world where we're completely insulated and we don't have to deal with these real life problems. No, we are, as black folks, we are the most oppressed people, especially in this country. So with that, we don't take that to say, oh, we need to quit, roll over, or cry. We just have to accept that, understand that, and strategize to move past that. But a lot of times, a lot of things that I see, I'm like, I just don't understand how that strategy would work. Even just down to, let me just touch on this topic slightly. But just even down to like the voting issue, like I don't understand, and I would really love for somebody to break down this concept to me of how it is possible for black people to say, I am the last in this race. We are the last group. The numbers are showing we are suffering all these different disease, abortion, whatever, all these different things that we are, is getting at our community. How is it possible that we can expect to even get on an even playing field with the rest of the groups, with the rest of the people in the world, in America, by saying that we're gonna vote and have a wholesale approach or just a holistic look on voting or just who we are as people? Like, people really go out and say like, oh, I'm gonna go vote for the Democrats, and yeah, voting matters and it's gonna give us power somehow. Like, that's how I know a lot of black people are okay with being last, because you have to understand that if you're voting for all the same rights and there's no specific legislation being, getting written for you or nothing being done for you specifically, then you have to know that you're just carrying on the same shit. If we're breaking up $100 the same way every time, or even we mix up the top four, but you're still gonna be last every time, it's like, bro, you gotta understand, like, that's not gonna work. That we just have to have strategy. So we got to have strategy with everything. And I'm going to be talking on this whole Democrat Kamala Harris thing, because it's like, it's very funny that the voter die Negroes are in a very tough spot right now, because a few years ago when I was saying, hey man, I'm staying out the voter game, it's not for me until I get something offered to me specifically, there's no reason for me to go out there and vote and give everybody else empowerment, like until my vote's respected and counted for and I can actually feel like, it's powerful and I'm not just whoring my vote off, I'm not gonna vote. I was getting killed. Oh my gosh, that's your vote, your people died and all this other nonsense, voter tactic, shaming tactic nonsense. And then now look what's happening. We're in 2019 and we're faced with, who's going to be the next Democrat to go against Trump? Hey, we looking at it right now. I don't think none. Well, I don't say I don't think. I know none of these Democrats are nowhere near having any. They ain't got nothing on Trump. So let's be honest. Trump is going to be in office again, just like I predicted. And I want to also say it, January 26, 2019, just so people can say that I did not say it, just so you can't say I didn't say it. Trump's going to win again, dog. Look at the Democrats. Look at it's obvious to black people that these Democrats are pandering. So there's going to be no real Democrat they're pandering without giving any real tangible benefits. There's going to be no real Democrat, strong Democratic candidate that's going to really kind of unify the party and have everyone go against Trump. That's not going to happen, fam. It's going to be super divisive. It's going to be split. And then when it comes to Trump, it's going to be even more split. And your boy Trump going to be in there for another 4. So go ahead and get tight. Understand that. Accept it. You might as well go ahead and cry now. Get the blanket out. Get the popcorn, the chocolate, whatever you need to do to get over it. But that's happening. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more in the next episode. But this episode, I just want to talk about that Chris Brown situation. That shit was annoying the hell out of me. Specifically that Twitter. I'm hoping and praying maybe she comes on Monday and just does a last hey, this is the real apology. Let's have a Chris Brown show. Not even extra, but just please, you guys do something better than that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Truth to Power Show.
Thank you guys for listening. Peace.